we build. Depends on the future we want, we can make it as real. Maybe we will, though. Give up the ego. Making it feel go. Just get it, just let it go. Just get it, just let it go.
Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. We can start it again. We can start it.
Welcome, Rocket League fans. We have another great set of games for you tonight. It's the Frontiers Double League semifinals for the Expert League between the Gators and the Hornets. And let me tell you, they split the series earlier throughout the regular season. So I'm definitely interested in this game, as one of the two losses for the Hornets came from the Gators. We have a best of 7 series coming up. Looking forward to 7 games, in my personal opinion. I'm hoping that we get that far, but usually the players themselves try to end these in quick fashion, get the dub, move on to the finals, as this is for that type of glory. We're going to see if the Hornets get the chance to upset the Gators tonight, and we're going to try to get them in as fast as possible so we can get these games going. We do have both teams ready. They probably are excited to get this game going. And again, nothing is more exciting than getting to the finals. Semifinal games can be absolutely intense in all aspects, in all sports. Rocket League, no exceptions. We've got Flight Night Dan on the excuse me. We've got Flight Night Dan on the Hornets, and the Gators, Kin and Gomi Panda. And let's see what we've got here as the faceoff leads into what I believe is they're a little bit, the colors are a little bit funny. I believe in the Hornet zone. Dan going up, trying to stop that. Kin able to, or missing it, as Flight Night able to get it around Kin. Gomi Panda beating Flight Night and getting it right back into the Hornet zone. Dan able to hit away that shot on goal, keeping him honest as Dan getting it down. Kin kicking to the opposite side. Flight Night missing that read. Gomi Panda has a chance here. It's going to be a 2v1. Can't get it around Dan, and Flight Night in great position to stop that one. Good job by Dan on the defense for the Hornets to start off. Both teams playing pretty well. Nobody playing really fluttery, if you will, although that miss you could consider a little bit of an indication of how the first game is going. That chance is going to be missed as the ball centered into the Hornet zone, and we've had more time on the Hornet zone instead of the Gators. Gomi Panda trying to make a shot and does not get there, as another save yet again. 2 saves to 0 right now, but it's 2 shots to nothing as Ken keeping it in. It goes the opposite side. Gomi Panda with a little deflection, but goes right to Dan, who does not over pursue. Dan is able to get it around Gomi, but gets turned the other way. Ken hitting it towards the center, but Flight Night able to read it. Now Flight Night trying to set up solo, but Gomi able to read that one, giving it right to Dan, who sends it right back down. Great bump by Flight Night on Kin. We have a chance here. Can Dan get it around Gomi? Gomi with a nice 50. That ball's going to sit in the front of the net, but a good deflection away and clear out by Kin. And they're going to get a dribble on. That's going in the air. Can't demo Dan, and a demo by Flight Night on Gomi Panda ends any type of threat, as Dan's going to try to do a counter, getting it around Kin, but sending it the opposite side. Both these teams fighting really hard. 3 minutes to go in this game, and it's kind of anybody's game, although I would say that the Gators putting a little bit more pressure on the Hornets, but the Hornets are definitely able to weather the storm, not double committing and making some good plays the entire game. Ken able to keep it in the corner. Gomi Panda getting the clear again and sending it right back down the Hornet zone and just keeping it there. So Dan trying to get to the opposite side. Ken trying to read this, is able to read it, but Flight Night backing up that play and able to get it around Ken this time and trying to move it forward. I don't think they have any boost. They're not indicating they are. Gomi Panda able to stop them, as Dan not able to get the touch and flying away. Flight Night keeping it in though. Gomi Panda with a nice defensive play to get Kin able to send it right back down to the Hornet zone. Gomi trying to make a play. He's going to send it to Kin, who doesn't get turned around fast enough. That was an opportunity, but a good save yet again as Dan goes on to the opposite side. Gomi Panda able to stop it for a second, but Dan, what a save by Gomi Panda as Dan, great heads up play, but Gomi sitting in front. And this Gators team, even though they haven't been down on their side, are definitely able to weather some of the plays that the Hornets have been having. Once they get down, they're 2 shots to 6 as opposed to 5 saves to 1. Definitely the Hornets staying in their side, but this is a little bit intense. Gomi Panda trying to beat Flight Night, and Flight Night does, but takes the corner boost. Dan is going to slot this front post as Kin decides to back up and let Dan do whatever they were going to do. Not the greatest idea, although maybe they didn't have enough boost to decide to make that challenge. And Dan with a really good hit, 64 miles an hour. They open up the scoring a minute 36 in to this entire series. And if that's any indication, ladies and gentlemen, on how these games are going to go, this is going to be absolutely awesome. Gomi Panda getting it into the corner, goes for boost instead as Dan able to get around both Gomi and Kin. Kin's going to demo Dan. A great move as Flight Knight getting into the corner and not able to get it around Gomi, but giving Dan enough time to spawn. Dan 50ing Gomi and winning that one. Trying to get it around Kin, but Kin with a nice patient play and getting in the corner. Flight Knight trying to do something with it. Gomi sending it up to Kin. Kin hitting it towards goal. It's a little wide, and Dan able to deflect it nice and hard out of there, but Gomi Panda able to catch it and keep it inside the Gator zone, as that one's going to be a little dangerous. Can Gomi get it down? It does to Kin, and that was a great pass from Gomi to Kin, and Dan missing the challenge. And a beautiful punch down as Dan able to recover, but not make any sort of play. Beautiful dime. Nice read. Great teamwork. And it is tied with just under a minute to go as Kin and Dan meet in the middle with, we'll say, the Gators winning that one. Gomi trying to do something off the wall. Does, but Dan good read and able to stop that one. Kin with a nice deflection. Flight Knight there, nice and patient. And that was an easy play as Flight Knight trying to demo Gomi. It was a nice attempt. Dan able to get around both Gomi and Flight Knight and stones Kin dead. Puts Kin into neutral, and you can't do anything when you're stuck there. That is no man's land, and look at that. Just, ending this one, taking a 2-1 lead. 36 seconds to go. Good playing back and forth. No goals till a minute 36, and then 3 in the past minute alone for both teams combined. Kin getting it out of the corner. Dan keeping it in the corner as Gomi Panda and Kin do not want this. Great bump by Dan on Gomi. Flight Knight and Dan had a chance for a play, but Kin with a great play as Gomi coming up trying to get squishy around and tries to dunk Dan, but Dan underneath it and able to keep it and send it forward. That extends this lead with 16 seconds to go. Not insurmountable, but definitely much harder as both teams are playing really well. But the Hornets playing just a little bit better. Oh, goodness gracious. 7 saves by the Hornet. The Gators have been putting so much pressure on. Just can't quite get some of the closing goals. Dan able to get it around Kin. Gomi Panda going up for it. 7 seconds left. They really need to score right now. They don't have enough time as Flight Knight getting it around Kin. That ball's going to land and end it as the Hornets winning this one 3-1. And best of 7 starting off on their side, although again the Hornets and the Gators they split the series through in the regular season, so this is any team's game, but between them, Panda and Kin on one side, 10 shots, 3 saves, 1 assist, and 1 goal. As for so 10 shots, 1 goal, not enough. But that's a little bit dangerous. If they get 10 shots and they can keep it up, that battle where you just keep your opponent on your toes can be won. That being said, Dan kind of opened it up. 5 shots, 5 saves, 3 goals. That's some big numbers. And both players, Dan and Flight Knight, with 8 saves. So they weathered the storm very well. You got to give them absolute tons of credit because that is hard to do. And even with a score, they did not get deterred from their good defense. They kept rotating. They had good plays. You could tell the comms were there, and they were playing absolutely wonderful that first game. We have hopefully 6 more games for you coming up between the Hornets and the Gators. Of course, that is my specific wish. I can't really say I want either team to win as of right now, since the Gators are down 1. Let's go Gators. So Kin and Gomi Panda, Dan and Flight Knight, same formation off the kickoff as the first game. And I'm looking forward to these 2 players meet as Dan and Gomi are getting right there as they're going to say it's going to give it to Kin. Kin with a touch does not get what they were looking for. It's sent right to Flight Knight, who gets it into the Gators corner. Gomi Panda trying to come off the wall and does get a good little touch on it. They're ahead of the Hornets right now, but it doesn't come to fruition as They don't get the touches. Gomi still bullying, playing really well. Kin backing off. Dan with another good touch. Is that ball going to go in? No, Kin with a nice slam save, getting it away. As Gomi now trying to get in the way of the Gators. Kin getting it over Flight Night and then turning away to get some boost. Flight Night with a missed touch, almost a double commit by Dan and Flight Night. Flight Night staying on the ground and for good reason. Gomi trying to hit it towards Kin and does. Kin trying to stop it. Trying to make a play here. Maybe a little bit of a hook shot. No, maybe I think they were going for a slow pass off the wall. Gomi and Flight Night meeting yet again, but Flight Night winning this one and giving it to Dan, who sends it towards goal. But that was a little bit of a floating shot that really shouldn't have gone in, as Dan getting another shot off the wall because Gomi sent it up the wall, wasn't able to dribble that one, as Flight Night stopping that one in good defense. Again, both teams a minute in, as Kin able to send this one to the corner of a slightly dangerous play. Dan not able to slot that one, nor able to get Gomi on the demo. So now it's just a foot race to the opposite side, as Flight Night able to stop that one in the corner. Gomi Panda hitting it towards the side and getting it right back from Dan, and double commit by Gomi and Kin, but this is going to go right into Dan's possession as Dan and Flight Night going for Kin. Kin jumping. Dan with a shot on goal. It's going to hit off post and miss. Great teamwork right there, making Dan go up, but Kin go up, but Kin able to get out of the way, and the shot isn't true. Gomi trying to get in Flight Night's way, does, but also gets into Kin's way. Dan setting it off for Flight Night, who sends it to the right, but unfortunately another good defensive play by the Gators, who just keep deterring these shots. Flight Night missing that one, and that's going to end that one as Gomi chasing that ball down, missing the side boost. Flight Night with another miss, kind of flustered right now as we are coming over on halfway throughout the game, and yet another 0-0 score. Both teams playing absolutely wonderful right now, but nobody making that play. As a great pass off the back wall, good demo, but Gomi able to deflect it and get the save. Oh my goodness gracious. Both teams playing with a good shot. Flight Night just sending that to the opposite side corner. And again, a 0-0 tie halfway through this game. Both teams playing really well. Dan stopping Gomi's attempt as he takes the ball. Gomi sending it to the middle. A demo doesn't get him anywhere as Kin was on the opposite side, and Gomi going to get corner instead of trying to do something with it. Gomi getting beat by Flight Night, but Kin's right there trying to dribble in. Can't get it around Dan, who reads it very well. Flight Night not able to get it around Gomi, as Gomi reading that one, and both teams really reading each other well, and I can understand why they split the series earlier. Dan trying to dunk Gomi and does not get a good hit off of his Kin takes over. Trying to get around Dan. That pass is there. Trying to Doomsy. Gomi there and able to get the opening score. A minute 39, almost to a T. I believe last game was a minute 36, and we are repeating it, and this is getting weird. Do I have deja vu? Please, somebody tell me I'm not crazy. Oh, goodness gracious. An absolute wonderful game. Let's see if we have an opening. Let's see if this opens the scoring up. The ball is still in the Gator side. Dan with a decent hit, getting it away. Yes, they do get it away as Flight Night decides not to go in, and probably a good move considering they're down one and they got plenty of time. Dan missing this one, but Gomi not being too aggressive. Gomi stopping that one. Do they have enough on it? They do have enough on it as Dan tried to go for the corner and get back in time and cannot. And nice stop here by Gomi, turning around in time and having just enough to open up the scoring. A minute 18, 2-0, but there's still plenty of time. Plenty of time for the Hornets to get back in this. Kin beating Flight Night very well. That ball is dangerous. Save recorded by Dan. Gomi, that is on. No, it's just wide, as that was a little dangerous as well. Actually, I think they gave that one a save as Gomi trying to get in. Dan stopping that one. Kin not deciding to catch it, and Flight Night not catching it either, as Dan getting the 50 win. And but getting it to their side. Dan trying to do something. Can he pass it to Flight Night? Gomi reading that one very well. Dan trying to get on Gomi, who gets the touch. It hits us off the side wall, and unfortunately I think for Gomi that Dan landing on the car kind of threw them off. That dribble's going to go to the opposite side, and Flight Night's attempt at maybe something doesn't go. 30 seconds to come as Kin stopping that one. Dan trying to catch it. Gomi It is going to the opposite side. Can Flight Knight stop it? Flight Knight does deflect it to the opposite side as there is a great offensive push here. Even it's an offensive defensive push, although that one is going to go in. Oh, I didn't see that coming. I kind of expected them to touch it, but shows what I know after this really, really nice hit by Dan. And I honestly thought they were going to get it, but no, 16 seconds left. We still have a ball game. Plenty of time for the Hornets to score another goal. That ball is going to go opposite side. Flight Knight reading that one. That is going to hit off the wall. If Kin can't touch it, Kin can't touch it. But Dan's not there playing aggressive enough, and Gomi Panda slamming it above their heads and keeping it into the Hornet zone. This is a center, but they don't need to worry about it. Dan trying to dribble it. Do they have enough? Getting it over Kin. Kin Flight Knight catching it. They do catch it, but it's not enough. And that attempt was pretty intense. I got excited, but it doesn't happen. And we have a 2-1 ball game and a tie series? Yeah, so what did I say? They, what did they do in the season? They split it. They split it. We're going 7 games. That's my prediction. I don't care what the who's winning this game prediction is. I'm going 7 games. Game 3, Gators, Hornets. This is going to be absolutely intense. I really don't know who's going to win. Both teams are adjusting well. I would say right now, it's sort of obvious, the team that disrupts the other one the most, sort of Madden speak here, if you will, almost like the team that scores the most goals wins. The team that disrupts the other team the most, I think, will be the winner. And I know that's, again, sounds vague, but it just feels like it. If somebody can get somebody else off of their game just enough, this will be the one. Oh, I am very sorry. This is not a best of 7. It's a best of 3 series. 3 best of 3 series. First to 2 series wins the match. My apologies for being absolutely unprofessional. That is on me to the fans. I do apologize. But for now, we've got game 3, a split series here. Flight Knight with a decent touch, getting it back down to the Gators corner. But Gomi Panda trying to read it, hits off the ceiling and is able to make it awkward for Dan, who gets it off the ceiling as well. Is going to waterfall down. Kin able to just barely get a touch, and Flight Knight not able to read that one as Dan demos Gomi out of frustration, and I don't blame them. Probably a decent demo in the first place, as Flight Knight trying to send it down. Gomi was reading that one well. That one's a little weird as Kin clearing it back down to the Hornet side. That ball's going to center itself. Nobody there playing aggressive enough, but I don't blame him. I don't think anybody expected that ball to hit the way it did. Gomi Panda stopping this one. A little bit of a double commit between Flight Knight and Dan, but nobody really, again, playing this aggressive this game. And I don't blame him. Game 3, when you have this type of thing going on, most teams play a little passive for the first minute or two, or they play so aggressive that it gets people off of their game, as Dan stops that for Gomi Panda. Gomi Panda trying to dribble it around. Can't. He does get it on Flight Knight, but can't get it on target. Does get the corner boost to steal as Dan taking control of the ball, giving it to Flight Knight. Flight Knight trying to get that boost. Kin able to read this one, as Flight Knight not able to get a solo play. Kin getting it around Dan. What a dribble, and able to stop Dan in its tracks, if you will, as Dan couldn't quite get the defense on. Nice job by Kin to open up the scoring, and this time we don't have a 1-0 game at a minute 30. It's 3:34, so there's lots of opportunity for scoring. This could be a 7-goal game apiece. Hint, hint. As Kin stopping Dan with a 50, going for good defensive play by Dan to prevent an easy attempt at goal. As Flight Knight sends that one opposite side, and Flight Knight responds with a banger across the field here. 3/4 court shot and nobody back in time. 64 miles an hour. That is hard to reach up to. Oh, we got the fans here. I love all the fans chatting. Keep it up. We love to see everybody trying to get their teams and their teammates excited and ready for these games. Dan coming in trying to get a nice touch. Gomi Panda with there. Flight Knight cleaning it up as the defense couldn't stop that one, and Gomi just couldn't hit it to the side as Kin couldn't read it and catch it to do anything with it. Good follow-up, and the Hornets take a 2-1 lead after the Gators opened up the scoring. And yeah, 3:07 to go. 3 goals have been scored in the past 30 seconds pretty much. This is kind of the story of the game. When they score, they score. And when they don't, they don't. And let's go here. Dan's going to send this. Kin able to be there, but there now the Hornets are keeping the Gators pretty honest as a double demo between Gomi and Dan. A little bit on the side of the Gators because they were right there to spawn. Nice job by Gomi to dunk that one, and nobody back. Although Gomi taking it from Kin, this could be dangerous as Flight Knight able to read it, and there you go. A little bit of miscommunication right there, and sometimes you just got to settle down, let your teammates do what you got to do. As yeah, definitely a miscommunication, and that overcommit double jump right there. Just a little bit too much. 2:29 to go. Still plenty of time for both teams to keep scoring or even tie it up. Gomi taking it into the corner. Nice little touch. Can Flight Knight get it? They do, and that's another dangerous play. A little bump from Dan. Flight Knight trying to get that shot on goal. Does not get it, and that ball is deflected back to the opposite way. Can Gomi read this? Sending it down. Flight Knight with a good save. Doesn't overcommit, and a demo on Gomi by Dan stops another possible chance at offense, and they can't keep the rotations up because right now the Hornets playing really aggressive, and they're another attempt at goal by Dan, but that's going to be a little too outside. Dan with a nice demo chasing down Gomi. You got to be ready for that as Kin's playing back enough to make sure that nothing comes of that. Gomi with a nice job at a save from Dan, who sent it yet again, and I think Dan's feeling really confident, thinking they could do it. Gomi trying a nice play here. That's going to go wide as Dan patiently waits for that one. Kin missing it. Flight Knight going up from the stop from Gomi, and this is going to be a little dangerous, but Gomi a good read yet again. That ball's going to land in the Flight Knight's path. Kin backing up, now making a good defensive play. Can't get it around Dan. Can Gomi hit it to the side? Does. Trying to make another play on it. Does get that second play on it. But that ball's going to trickle down, and that is actually an attempt on goal. Dan right there. Can Kin get it? No! Crossbar down! There's a chance at a save, and they do get the save, and that was another opportunity for the Gators as the ball sat there for what felt like forever, and then a floater by Dan, and you could feel the confidence from that miss drain out of their bodies, and a 4-1 lead with 53 seconds to go has to make you feel a little bit like it could be over. That being said, there's still time. 53 seconds. You just really need to take it to it as Kin going to beat Flight Knight. Going for a ball. Can anybody get there? It looks like Kin could get there in time. Dan can't get there in time. Kin trying to beat that. That's going to hit up the ceiling. Can Gomi turn? No, Gomi doesn't go for it. Feel like they should have. Maybe they didn't have enough boost on them at the time, but it was 4-1. Who cares if it's 4-1 or 5-1? You really need to score some points, and you need to score some points now. Dan beating Gomi. It goes around Flight Knight. Kin probably had a chance to catch it. Now a little bit of a double commit by Gomi and Kin. And under 20 seconds to go. It don't really feel like the 3 goals needed is going to happen. As Dan trying to dribble it around, but Gomi stopping it. Flight Knight with a good defensive play. Just counting down the 10 seconds, and we are looking at another Hornets win as the 5-1 score is now here. Oof. 12 shots to 6 on the Hornets side this particular game. Once that mistouch by Gomi Panda happened, the scoring just opened up, and then that miss that would have tied the game up. Definitely a little bit of a confidence breaker, but that doesn't mean anything. Because if I'm not mistaken, we have another series to go. If I'm not mistaken, we have another best of 3. And if the Hornets lose this best of 3, we have another best of 3. And for those in the chat who don't have any idea what's going on, don't worry, your caster doesn't either. He needs the absolute brilliance of the producers and, of course, the people who mod the league to inform myself as well. But again, still plenty of time for the Gators to get back in this because we have a possible 3 more games to go. And then once that happens, and I am going to be rooting for the Gators so we can get more games in, no offense to the Hornets, if we get those wins by the Gators, we get more. And that's what the name of the game is. It's actually Rocket League. So, whatever. All right. Needed a sip of that beautiful H2O. If there was going to be a sponsor, it would be water. Drink it. That is the slogan. Yes, beautiful. And for those in the chat, I'm glad somebody caught that because And I'm glad we're getting more and more info. This is absolutely wonderful. They do have to split up the lineup for this series, so we can't have what we saw before. So we will see something different. This is going to be absolutely wonderful. Thank you, chat. Just kicking some absolute butt. This is why what a community is. For those of you who haven't joined FDL and are interested in FDL, I can't imagine them not wanting more people in the FDL. Sign up, join up, get on here. This is a great community, and they do have a lot of fun. And for those of you who want to click the link, fdl.gg. And if those of you who are here, this is twitch.tv. But I think you're already here, aren't you? Yes. What I believe we are getting ready to get these players in. It looks like everybody. It does look like everybody is in. And I think whenever they decide that they want to get in here, they will. I see Gomi Panda, I see Dan, I see Senfis, I see Sir Jaden, and I think Senfis and Sir Jaden are going to meet in the middle, barring any sort of kickoff fake, that is. Oh, I can't wait for this game. Ladies and gentlemen, Rocket League fans, Hornets, Gators, second best of 3 series, and we have a kickoff as Gomi Panda trying to read this one, going for goal, trying to send it down, cannot get it, and it does hit off the crossbar. A little bit more off the back wall, but we're definitely calling that one a shot on goal. Jaden trying to make something happen, making something a little dangerous, and turning around as Dan sending it right back down. Gomi able to read that one. And able to read that one. We have a breakaway from Gomi if they just take their time. They don't take their time. They slam it home, and they open up the scoring the first time anybody has scored within the minute for this entire set of games. So as you can see, changing up the roster, changing up the lineup definitely changes up the game. And right now, we do have a different series on our hands. Not to say that the Gators are playing so much better, but I do like to see something change a little bit. I was almost feeling like Groundhog Day the first 2 games. Jaden is going to get bumped by Senfis, and a good bump right there as Jaden looked like they wanted to do something. Is Gomi Panda going to try to do something with this? A little bit of dribbling, sending it to Sir Jaden. Nice pass. Can Dan get there? Does get this? No, it doesn't get the save as that ball trickles itself in. What an attempt by Dan, but this was an obviously banger of a shot by Jaden. Ooh, yes, gotta give Dan a little bit of credit for that attempt. Just not able to put enough mustard on it, as the mustard coming from one team was just too much, and they are slightly mustard colored. Jaden is going to get away from this as Gomi giving that an opportunity, as Dan trying to bump Gomi cannot do it. Senfis getting met, and this ball hitting the ceiling down. Dan going for something. I think they wanted to go for a shot. Double tapping. Ooh, baby. Oh, I don't need to say too much. I'm just going to say Dan. And I needed to get a drink of water. Speechless. Gave me time. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Gomi. is a great clear. Senfis didn't need to do too much. That ball was going wide, but that was a great clear as Senfis trying to get it to Dan, and Dan not able to do any dunky stuff on Gomi, who was able to read that. Sir Jaden going for a shot that's going to hit. Oh no, it hits crossbar, but right into Jaden. We're gonna say calculated, and they have opened up 3 goals. They have opened up the lead with a 2-goal lead, saying lead a little bit too much. But maybe they'll keep it, as Senfis missing that one, letting Jaden keep it to the corner and take the corner boost and set a pass down. But Gomi definitely not being too aggressive. I bet you definitely had the opportunity. Can't get it around Senfis, and that ball is going to hit the post and get into Dan's possession. Dan sending it down. That's going to hit off post and go. This basically the same thing just happened. Opposite sides. Senfis going for something. A nice shot, and Gomi able to get the save, getting it around Dan, and now they've got it on the car. Can they get it around Senfis? No, a great defensive play by Senfis. Dan with an amazing turn, slamming it in front of Jaden, and they have stopped the bleeding for now with 2:52 to go in this game. 3-2 deficit. Nice hit by Dan, making sure nobody can get that one. Oof. Yeah, both teams playing really well. Nice counter actions, good punches. They are meeting each other. A little bit of demoing, a little bit of bumping. Well, actually, not a lot of bumping. A lot more demoing than anything. And then as I speak, Dan bumping Gomi. Getting a nice, decent pass, but it hits off the ceiling a little too hard. And Jaden was able to read that one and get it back to the opposite side as Senfis missing it, but so did Jaden. Gomi able to take Dan's attempt at a center and push it towards the corner as Senfis keeping it in. Gomi stopping it, but Senfis right there passing it to Dan, who's able to tie up this ball game. 3-3, 2:21 to go. And yes, we have what everybody's thinking in anyone's game. Yes. Gomi and Sir Jaden. Gomi going to meet Dan as Gomi and Sir Jaden were up 3-1, and now oh, can Senfis miss that hit? Tops, oh no, it doesn't matter. Yet another crossbar down double tap. These teams are pulling out all the stops. 7 goals this game, 2:15 to go, and there is no indication of either team slowing down. 1 save for the Gators, no saves for the Hornets. Like, this is just no defensive right now. Is Gomi going to center it? Can Jaden get there in time? No, they cannot. A good attempt right there, and that's going to be another goal right here. Is Gomi that aggressive play? What a beautiful touch here by Dan, and then a nice, beautiful touch by Senfis with Dan's little bump help. They tie it up. I don't know what to say. This is back and forth, back and forth. This is going to be anybody's ball game. Jaden winning the 50. Can they get the goal? Dan not there in time, and we have a 5-4 ball game with 1:58 to go, which is basically 2 minutes. I'm loving this. I'm actually having a lot of fun. I hope everyone here is having a lot of fun. We have a 9-goal game here, and yet I technically think that could have had a chance had Dan not made any sort of play on it. Dan trying to center it to Senfis. Senfis not getting the touch they wanted. Great bump by Dan, though, on Gomi Panda. So it would have been an absolute awesome play, but doesn't come in as Dan taking this one, looking for a place off the wall, trying to do a flip reset, but Gomi getting there in time as Senfis able to get back and get the ball to the corner. Gomi with a good win. Can he get there in time? He does get there in time. Can't dunk it, and Senfis beating Sir Jaden, so that could have gotten a 6-4 lead, just under 1:30 to go. But instead, it gives Dan and Senfis a chance as Dan sends it down. Another shot on goal. Senfis trying to clean up. Gomi able to read that, and good patience by Gomi. Dan missing that one, and unfortunately, this gives a 1v2 here as Gomi trying to get it in front of Senfis, who reads it nice and easy, and we've got a little bit of a 1v2 here. Can't get it around Sir Jaden, and a good defensive play yet again for both teams to kind of back and forth that. There's a chance, and they do open it up. The Gators, nice play by Gomi Panda. Wow, I didn't expect that. Landing, jumping backwards, and hitting a very nice shot, 57 miles an hour, beating out the defender. There's still 49 seconds to go in this game with the Hornets down 2. There's still plenty of time, in my opinion. This is a 10-goal game. This could be anybody's as Jaden centering it to Gomi, and he slots it over Senfis, and now I don't think it's anybody's game. I really think it's the Gators' game. My goodness, nice pass. 12 shots to 10. It's not from a lack of shots. I really think right now the Gators have 3 saves, and it kind of is what it is. And it's mostly that the Gators just had enough shots go on target while both teams had a decent amount of crossbar downs and had a few posts. The games, oh, Gomi Panda yet again, and when it rains, it pours. 8-4. When this game was 5-4, you definitely thought it could have been anybody's. But the Gators have really pulled out, and Gomi's at 1,088 with 5 goals and 9 shots, 1 assist, 3 saves. They're just the total package right now, and it is absolutely incredible to watch. 30 seconds to go. Now you're just kind of playing for momentum and give yourself a little confidence that you can do it. Senfis missing that one. That ball's going to be hit towards Jaden. Jaden missing it. Can Dan do something with this? No, it's just about a little bit of a slalom play as Dan trying to back pass it to Senfis, but Senfis a little too far. Jaden getting it in as Senfis. It just seemed like a little bit of a just, hey, let's do this, and it just didn't work out. 9-4. Wow. Talk about a switch. When you the roster change, really 13 more goals scored this game than the entire previous series. As Gomi able to save it, and it just keeps happening. Dan going for a shot. Gomi able to save that one, and just things not going their way as Gomi trying to dribble it, going up in the air, knowing Dan was there, getting around Dan yet again. Can they get that touch again? They do, but unfortunately can't get the 10th goal. And the Gators with a very, very convincing first game win. And for those of you who remember, and if I remember correctly, I think the Hornets won the first 3-game set. So if that is the case, and the Gators continue this trend, we could have another set of games. So for those Hornets fans out there, sorry. For those Gators fans out there, keep it up. We want more Rocket League. What a game. 9 goals. 9 shots for Gomi Panda on 5 goals. That is a pretty darn good shooting. Also 4 saves where Jaden didn't have any saves, but still had 707 points. A lot of goals right there. But we've got a lot of Rocket League to go. This isn't over. The Hornets have, they got 4 goals on there, and while they gave up 9, a lot of that came late where they kind of some of the, we call it garbage goals. Great plays by the Gators, but some of it was just a little bit over pursuing, a little bit of aggressiveness, and then that last back pass leading to a goal. That just happens. We've got a brand new ball game coming up. Game 2 of the second best of 3 series here. Dan and Sir Jaden going to meet in the middle with Gomi Panda and Senfis deciding what they are going to do off this kickoff. Let's watch as Sir Jaden and Dan clash. The win is by Dan right into a dangerous play here, or opportunity, as that ball is going to be deflected and Jaden able to catch it and trying to get it over Dan. Dan with a nice read, deflecting it towards their corner and not able to get this one. Gomi not able to beat Senfis. Senfis with a nice 50. Dan trying to get it over Jaden. Jaden with a little bit of a weird flip as Gomi, great defense and good backup. And that's what teammates are for. That's what you really need to worry about. It's Jaden coming up, does not demo Senfis, but does create a little bit of havoc as Gomi able to keep it in, but Dan getting the demo on Gomi for their troubles. Jaden trying to beat Senfis does. That ball is going to be hit towards Dan. Dan trying to make a play and getting it towards the Gators' opposite corner and leaving it there as Gomi stopping. Dan trying to dunk Gomi. Senfis with a nice shot on goal. Great pass off of Gomi's, the roof of Gomi right there. That's what you got to do. And that aggressiveness leading to a great read by Senfis. And that is yet another goal in the 4-minute mark. And we could have another, 13, 14 goal game on our hands. I would like that very much. I do like to see scoring as Gomi is able to get a touch, but is slightly weak as Senfis sending it right back down and beating Sir Jaden. Gomi getting up wall and sending it right back down opposite side. Jaden trying to beat Dan, cannot beat Dan in time. And Dan sending it opposite side, shooting way wide, and that one nice and easy save for Gomi. Dan can't demo Jaden or get the bump in time as Dan's going to send that one. Great save by Gomi as Jaden not able to miss it, and another good play back up by Gomi as Jaden getting it past Dan. Dan not able to get back in time as Senfis not able to beat Jaden, and Jaden getting the equalizer. 1-1, 3:27 to go in this game. Plenty of time. Hornets. Senfis, Sir Jaden meeting as Dan and Gomi decided to cheat, and I like what I see as Dan. Oh, Gomi missing it. So did Dan. And Senfis and Sir Jaden missing, but the win is by Sir Jaden, who dribbles the other side. Dan demoing him, but can't get the ball. And that ball's going to float in. Nice try by Dan. Great hustles. Dan has been absolutely all over the place on defense. Just not able to make that play. And the Gators have a 2-1 lead over the Hornets. And there's 3:16 to go, and like I said, when they score as Senfis sending it right to the opposite side. Jaden stopping and giving it to Gomi. Is Dan going to get back in time, or is Gomi going to have good hit? No, they do not. Jaden keeping it in, but Dan again there to hit it opposite side and give their teammate a chance here. That ball's going to go off the wall, but Jaden deflecting it towards opposite side and giving Gomi a chance to take over. Gomi going, it looked like a pass there, and Senfis able to deflect it, but it lands in Jaden's lap, who's not able to get a shot on goal. And now Dan trying to take control. Gomi hitting it towards the corner. Jaden and Gomi in the same spot. Senfis going up for it, but a good stop right there as Jaden trying to get a touch on it, just not able to get another opportunity. And they could have opened up the scoring from 2-1 to 3-1 as we are halfway through with the Gators up 2-1. Ball's going off back wall. Gomi trying to keep it in as Dan sending it down. Gomi trying to dribble it in, and Senfis meeting that one and reading that one very well and having a chance pinching it down to the opposite side. That ball's going to center, hit off side wall and not have a chance to go in, but Senfis right there trying to keep it inside the Gators zone as Dan getting it over Gomi and slotting it near post. Great aggressive play, and I really think that Dan is keeping them in this series right now because they have been all over the place with their defense, with their offense. Nothing against Senfis, who's got the other goal, but Dan is definitely a catalyst for the Hornets right now as they are playing really fast, really aggressive, and really smart. Gomi in the corner trying to do something as they're going to get a flip reset. They do not go for the flip reset as they land the ball, but it's going to be taken by Senfis, who's going to get their own dribble, trying to get around Gomi, and Gomi reading that one very well, but it does go to the opposite side. Dan going up, getting beat by Jaden, and Senfis missing this one, and this ball's going to trickle in, and you've got to feel for Senfis right now because that doesn't happen too often where you just miss. But if you're Senfis, you got to shake it off as the Gators have a 3-0 lead. You still got to shake it off. There's a minute 34. There's plenty of time. You're not down crazy amounts. That's almost nothing as Gomi getting it a little bit centered. Senfis going up and clearing it towards the midfield, which is exactly what you needed to do to give him time and a little bit of chance to get this boost. Gomi Panda looking to set up a play. Going opposite side, does get around Senfis, but Dan able to meet it. Senfis looking to touch it right back to Dan. Was a great play. I saw it coming, but Dan skidding to a halt and not able to read the touch. I liked what they were doing. There was an opportunity right there, just not happening as Senfis can't get it around Gomi. Dan does get in decent position, but not able to read Gomi's nice hit. Senfis keeping it inside the Gators zone, but now is reversed as Jaden going down, not able to get a good touch. Dan taking over and reversing it, getting it right back into the Gators zone, trying to center it, but Jaden already up as Senfis decided to go away. Does not get dunked by Jason. Senfis trying to pass it. Gomi missing that one. Dan tying it up. 31 seconds. We have a ball game, baby. This is Rocket League. I actually never thought I'd say that, to be honest. This is Rocket League, though. I feel like we already know. But this is an exciting game. 3-3, anybody's ball game with 31 seconds to go. Jaden and Senfis meeting, and Gomi chasing that ball. Dan can't beat Gomi. Gomi looking for a play, gets the flip reset back wall. Jaden not there in time, and that is a good defensive play as Senfis going for goal. And that's going to be the lead. The Hornets have taken the lead with 16 seconds to go with a 4-3 lead. Oh my goodness. And for those of you who want to know why it was one of the calmest Rocket League, this is Rocket League's, I can't yell too loud, but I want to. I need to get me one of those soundproof rooms because, oh my goodness, 5-3. And I think this game is over with 11 seconds, barring an absolute crazy miracle. As yes, roast the caster. I've got to buy me some of that soundproofing so I can just absolutely tear off when I need to. Because I really, really want to. Dan meeting Gomi. Jaden going for something, and they don't have enough time here. 4 seconds left. If this ball doesn't know, it's over. We've got it. Senfis missing that one to extend the lead, but the Hornets. The Hornets have tied this series up as the Gators, in convincing fashion, winning the first game, unfortunately give up this one. And now if the Hornets win this one, and there will be corrections if I am wrong, if the Hornets win this one, because they have won the first best of 3 series, if the Hornets win, it is over. This set is 1-1, but I believe the series total is Hornets 1 best of 3 to no best of 3. So the Gators need to win this to stay alive. So Gators, come on. We want more Rocket League. We want 3 more games. This back and forth, though, I said it in the very beginning. The Hornets and Gators, they split the season series, and they are basically splitting everything here. You cannot count out either team at any time, minus the 9-4, of course, because once it got to certain points, it's a little bit too much. And for those of you who are curious, please stay hydrated. It is good for you to stay hydrated using that wonderful H2O. Senfis and Gomi Panda going to meet as Dan and Jaden. Jaden not cheating as Dan moving up and deciding to. Nothing happens as the ball goes into the corner of the Gators zone. Jaden beating that one as Dan's 50 doesn't do anything. Going right up to Gomi with a nice little touch. Dan able to get a good save, but no, it lands into Gomi's lap. And Gomi able to bully it in with Dan. Yet another great attempt at defense, but Gomi, offensively defensive right there, or defensively offensive. I'm not sure how you really want to give that one. But Dan able to stall that one and Gomi able to stall Dan's defense and not able to let him hit it into the corner. So Gomi opens up the scoring real quick, and yet again, this series, a goal is scored in the first minute, with the other series not really happening. Dan with a great demo on Jaden, but Senfis not able to read that one to make it more dangerous. Jaden sending it up, Gomi turning for it, trying to get a good hit on it, and does, but Senfis reading that one off the wall very well. And nobody attacking, Gomi attacking, and able to get around Senfis just in time. Can Dan read this one? Going up wall, does get to the opposite side as Senfis can't demo Sir Jaden, but it does move them off their mark and give them a chance to catch their bearings a little bit. Although I think Gomi probably should have let that one go on Jaden, but Jaden deciding to back off of that one. Dan hitting it off side wall, Jaden shadowing, can't get the save, but Dan's shot isn't true and it does crossbar away as Dan now trying to stall a little bit, giving them a chance to get some of this boost as Jaden hitting it towards the side from Dan's clear. Dan keeping it in the corner as Gomi stopping it, getting it around Dan. Can't get it around Senfis, who makes a good play to keep it inside the Gators zone. Gators yet again up 1-0 early, but the Hornets making a great comeback last game as the scoring, you can't rest on your laurels. 1-0 is not enough. Senfis sending it down, and that's going to slot top left. Beautiful, beautiful touch right there. Great hit, and we have another tie ball game. Oof. 3:13 to go in this game, and I know the fans are excited. I know the chat's excited. They want somebody as excited as them. Believe me, I'm there. I'm just limited to some of the things as Jaden is able to take the lead yet again. The storyline has been this way. Gators taking the lead, having a lead. Can they keep this lead? 3:05 to go. Plenty of time for Rocket League, though. Lots of goals can be scored this game, as well as the defense. I wouldn't call it defense optional. It's just been hard to play, as this ball is going to land in Senfis's lap, who sends it off back wall and is able to read the double touch, but not able to send it towards goal. And that was an opportunity to tie. That doesn't happen, as Dan missing that one. Jaden going to get it into the corner, taking their boost. Can't get it around Senfis, who's able to clear it towards the middle. Gomi reading that one pretty well, taking the side boost and shooting on goal. Dan can't get it. Jaden able to get it and slot it in and extend this lead yet again, 3-1 with 2:36 to go. But for those Hornets fans and those Hornets fans who've been watching, this isn't over. The Hornets kind of seem like they thrive in this type of situation. The Gators have been up in this plenty of times, actually, it feels like, as Gomi going for goal, but sent away by Dan. Senfis missing it, but Dan's right there to get that catch, getting that side boots, but Jaden is able to read that one. But Dan takes it away from him. Can they get it around Gomi? Gomi able to just get it to the side corner. Dan able to get that one, but it's going to be a little too spicy the opposite corner, as hoping that Senfis would be able to get some sort of play. The ball's in the corner. It's going to be centered, and Gomi with a nice read. That ball's going to go deflected opposite side. So Jaden trying to read it and does not. Does pinch it off the wall. Can Gomi beat Senfis? The 50 stones both of them, but Gomi able to control it and ride it up wall. Can they get it around Dan? They do get around Dan, who tried to get there. Senfis going back. Gomi hitting it. Senfis able to get the touch to the side and give them another opportunity, as that could have been another dangerous play for the Gators. Sir Jaden missing this one. Can that be a pass off the back wall? It is, but a good play by Gomi Panda to send that one to the opposite corner, as that was another dangerous opportunity, as the opportunities are there for both teams. But good heads-up plays and great Rocket Leaguing by both teams have made this an absolutely exciting game. Jaden leaving it for Gomi, who sends it towards goal, and Dan not reading that one properly, and we have a 4-1 game with 1:12. And dare I say, this could be it. We could have another best-of-3 series on our hands, barring an absolute breakdown by the Gators. There's 1:12. There's not a lot of time. The Hornets still have a chance, but they got to score quick. Senfis getting it in the corner, as that ball was stopped by Gomi, and Gomi stops it yet again, playing an absolute wonderful game, playing really, really, really smart and not overcommitting, and able to read the Hornets very well this time. Senfis getting it down to the opposite side, but Gomi yet again reading that one and stopping it. Dan thinking Gomi didn't have enough, and Gomi does get another goal, and that is pretty much going to ice it. 44 seconds, again, barring some sort of craziness. The Gators should probably take this game, but you know what? I'm gonna still go with it. I think that this is we're gonna go into another best-of-3. Jaden, the more that they have the ball inside Hornets zone, the worse it gets, and Gomi Panda reading that one. And my goodness, it just keeps going. It keeps going. Nice pass, nice read, 37 seconds, but this is where confidence goals comes up. Confidence goals are really kicking it into high gear right now, as one team just keeps getting him, as one team has to try to be a little bit aggressive. That ball's going to go off. Jaden going up. Senfis able to block that one. and prevent anything more from happening, as Jaden trying to block Dan. It forces Dan to stop, and a double miss by Gomi and Dan. And unfortunately, the ball just kind of sat there and was cleared away. Gomi, yet again, calling Gomi's name all game long as we are counting down under 5 seconds. Senfis going for some sort of shot. Nice little pass. Dan slotting it. They are going to get a 6-2 series win for the Gators. Or game win for the Gators, and a 2-1 series win. And again, if anybody wants to correct me if I'm wrong, which I've been wrong many times, I think we've got another series on our hands as both teams have split the best of threes. All right, we have, again, what I believe. I very apologize for the drink being loud. It's probably when I put it down. Oh, I need another indication. I need a shock mount. So thank you, chat. You have opened my eyes up to a massive amount of things. Saying beautiful is not beautiful. The series type stuff. I mean, just the quietness of this is Rocket League. My golf voice, for those of you who like my golf voice, please join my golf channel that I don't have. Sorry, I'm not promoting anything right now. Other than water, drink it. And don't slam your cup on the table. Well, we do have more games to go here. The series is not over. This is for all the marbles, though. It is a semifinal game in the Expert League. This is Frontier Doubles League, and this is not over, but this is it. We have a best of three set to go. This is it, though. There's no more best of three sets after this. And we are hopefully going to a full 9-game series, because the first set they went to the full 3 games. The second set went to full 3 games. And now this set, I can't imagine not going to the full 3 games, because my goodness gracious, it's kept happening. We should have everybody in. They probably made their adjustments. They've made their necessary roster changes, their lineup changes. We have yet another set of games for you. Hopefully all 3. As we see Senfis and Flight Night on the Hornets against Kin and Sir Jaden on the Gators. And let's go Rocket League. Frontier Doubles League. Senfis and Kin meeting, as Kin getting this one towards Flight Night, and Flight Night able to send it right back down to the Gator zone, making a nice touch, although Kin able to deflect it back into the corner. Jaden making a nice play, and it's sending it right to Kin. Kin can't quite read that one, but that one is going to be sent down opposite side and go nice and wide, and give the Hornets, yes, a little bit of a breather. But a 50 King winning 50 over since trying to stop it, but not enough momentum to keep the ball from coming in. And Kin opens the scoring, and this entire new series is like the old one, as a goal has been scored in the first minute, which is pretty much normal for Rocket League, in my opinion, as there's usually happens where somebody scores pretty quickly. That being said, anything can happen here, as both teams. It's not. This is an anybody's ball game type of atmosphere. Both teams are fighting. Both teams play hard. Senfis sending it down. Can Jaden get the touch? Does get the touch. Gets the clear off to the corner, and missing that one. So it gives Flight Night a chance to stop it a little bit and prevent a nice little counter attack. And yeah, you can't have that, but they have a 1-0 lead right now, so they have a little bit of momentum, as Senfis getting it towards the side, missing that one, but Kin stopping it. Flight Night not going for it. The 51 by Kin, but Senfis is there. The deflection does go, landing right into Sir Jaden. Jaden going for a goal, getting it over Senfis just in time, and they take a 2-0 lead. 3:50 to go. Plenty of time on the clock, but still 2-0 lead. Gators have done this before. Can they hold on? And I've thrown my phone on the ground. This is a very loud table. I'm learning so many things. Senfis is going to get this one. Overkin, back wall. That's going to land down, but Flight Knight not at the right angle to get this. But Senfis is. Can they slot it back post? They do. What a beautiful shot. Sir Jaden in no man's land. And right here, Senfis had so much time as Kin really probably needed to try to get in front of them. It would have been a last-ditch effort as like just hoping, but they cut the lead in half, 2-1. Still plenty of time for both teams to do something and adjust and make this a crazy Rocket League series, as that ball is going to be centered, but Senfis is there and nobody on the Gators able to make any sort of play as Kin chasing down Senfis. Good read by Sir Jaden. As Sir Jaden able to stop that. Flight Knight sending that one in for goal. Doesn't pass it to Senfis, and Kin able to read that one. And a nice save. Senfis is going for a little bit of a play. Passing it to Flight Knight. Flight Knight reading it very well as Kin couldn't get there in time. And we have a tie ball game with 3:08 to go. And let me tell you something. This is anybody's ball game. I feel like I've said that before. This is anybody's ball game as of right now, but with 30 seconds to go, you never know. One team could score about 12 goals because that's kind of what's happened. This this last few games, Senfis stopping that one as under 3 minutes finally coming here. Kin keeping it in the corner. That ball's going to be deflected right there. Sir Jaden with a good read. Can't get that one as Kin not able to get the touch, and Hornets live to fight another day as the Gators could have had yet another lead, but nothing there. Sir Jaden actually centering it to Senfis, who stops and reads that very well, but nobody there to get the deflection as Sir Jaden getting it back to their corner and taking the boost. Flight Knight with a nice read, and Senfis not there to get anything as well, so Kin's getting it back to the opposite corner, landing right in Senfis's lap, who sends it right back down. Jaden sort of centering it. Senfis, nice near post shot, but sure Jaden able to get that one away. Jaden hitting it up sidewall, and everybody on the Hornets team getting back on defense, letting Jaden moving it downfield. Jaden not getting a good touch and giving it right back to Senfis, with Kin trying to keep it in as Flight Knight sending it opposite side. Senfis getting a good touch, back wall. Flight Knight there, not able to get a good hit as Kin was breathing down their neck. Flight Knight demoing Kin. Senfis sending that ball in. The demo on Kin and the Senfis shot in. Dr. Seuss, eat your heart out. We have a 3-2 game lead with the Hornets taking advantage and scoring 3 in a row. Trying to put the drink down gently. I'm not sure if I succeeded as this ball, Senfis sending this down, and Sir Jaden stopping this one with Flight Knight getting into the corner. Sir Jaden almost looking like they were going to try to demo Senfis and stopping at the last second. Misreading that one. Senfis getting stopped by Kin, who was able to read that one. No shot registered, but Sir Jaden getting a shot registered. But Flight Knight able to save it and stop that one and stop this attempt at a pass. Kin getting that one. Senfis bullying Kin out of the way and trying to get a nice pass on, but not able to get the touch they were looking for. Jaden and Kin, nobody going for it. Flight Knight losing the 50. Jaden with a nice pass. Can Kin get there? But Senfis reading that one very well, playing a nice heads up defensive job. Jaden stopping Senfis's double tap. And this ball is going to be collected by them. The Senfis going to hit it opposite side. Flight Knight trying to beat Kin. No, this perfect move by going away from that. Kin was able to get that. Senfis stopping that shot on goal. Senfis not able to get another touch on it and is able to get it away from that goal as Kin keeping it in. Senfis yet again stopping that one. Jaden going and missing this one. There is an opportunity. Flight Knight to get there. Can't get the touch as they go flying wildly by. Senfis trying to pass it, but that's going to go opposite side, and Flight Knight trying to collect it. Plenty of time, though. 14 seconds here as Kin trying to do shadow does. Jaden needing to get something here. It's 10 seconds left, but they keep hitting the ball off the side wall. Finally getting it back down to the Hornets' goal, but this is going to hit down, leaving Kin in the dust. And the Hornets taking game 1 lead of the third best of 3 series. And they are 1 win away from the finals. This is Expert League Frontier Doubles League. We've got Ponzi producing, keeping everything up to date, letting us know. We've got mods, we've got fans, we've got people, we got the chat. Everybody's here. Let's get everything going. We've got 2 more games, I hope, in the books, just in case the Hornets don't close this one out. And if they don't close this one out, which, no offense, I am hoping for, we have an absolute awesome series on our hands, as the Hornets and Gators have pretty much split everything they've done. And I'm really looking forward to yet another split so we can get the ultimate game, last game, to decide this entire thing. Is it Ant the Flat or Fiat? Unfortunately, I don't have my glasses on. Shout out to any managers, any players. And yes, that is Flat. And thank you for the uppercase. The uppercase L helped so much. I did not bring my glasses with me, and yet another fail for this streamer here, this caster, whatever you want to call me. You can call me terrible. Flight Night and Kin meeting. It is game 2 of series 3. We have what I believe to be yet another great game on our hands, as this ball is going to be centered and staying in the Hornet zone. Kin and Sir Jaden double committing, and this is going to give the Hornets a chance here. Senfis not able to read that one, unfortunately. That slowed down really quickly, and they have a chance didn't really happen. Flight Night beating Kin, as Senfis was really breathing down Kin's neck and probably making him a little nervous, but nobody playing aggressive enough from that corner. Flight Night taking advantage of Kin's indecisiveness, but not able to get anything again. And some of these opportunities I feel like could be stuff, but both teams playing a little bit passive to start, as a minute's coming up on, a minute is coming up to pass of this game, and nobody has scored yet, and it'll be the first time in a while, what it feels like, as Sir Jaden keeps it in the Hornet zone. A little bit of a bump on Flight Night from Kin, but Sir Jaden missing it, and maybe another chance of an opportunity. Just, that's what you want. You want to create these opportunities as Senfis coming down, but Jaden getting it away from the Hornets. Jaden with a nice pass. Can Kin read it? No, the Kin can't read it. Senfis getting a touch, but not able to get a clean one. They had a clear path, plenty of time, but we're not able to have enough patience, as Flight Night trying to bump Kin out of the way and cannot. And that opportunity, as I slam my finger to the microphone, does not happen. We're coming up on 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. No goals scored in this game. Game 2, Series 3. As Jaden takes it from their corner and centering it to Senfis. Kin out of position, and that was almost like a pass right to them, and opening the scoring up are the Hornets. Good read right there by Senfis to hit that one nice and hard. 63 miles an hour, almost 3/4 court. Ooh. And it's at this time where somebody would be saying all these nice things about the teams, but Senfis and Kin meeting. Sir Jaden needing to beat Flight Night, and does. Kin needing to beat Senfis, but no, Kin goes back and not able to read it well enough, as Senfis gets another goal and opens it up a little bit more just as the 3-minute mark ticks underneath. So now we're closing in on halfway, with the Hornets leading 2-0, and I've seen the Hornets get the comeback. But can the Gators do the same thing? Flip that type of script. Kin trying to make a play on it. Does make a nice play. A nice top bar down. Can they squeeze it in? And they do. They cut this lead in half, and they answer right back. Oh, they needed that one. They really needed that one just before the halfway mark, and we have what we like to call ourselves a ball game. As Jaden winning that one, that ball going, can he read it again? No, he cannot read it again. That was a great opportunity to tie it up. Kin hitting it down. Senfis reading that one. Is that ball going to roll up the wall? It does. It does not go in. And Senfis had yet another opportunity to score an open goal and just couldn't get the long ball, as that would have been probably goal number 3, as Kin getting it away from Flight Knight into the corner. Senfis able to dunk it down, but Jaden with a good play. Jaden can't get that second touch, as the demo from Kin on the back end was awesome, but the ball was just hit a little too spicy and does not get the equalizer. Sir Jaden missing that one, going for the boost instead, trying to bump Flight Knight. Can Flight Knight get it over Kin? Kin with a good jump and reading it, as Jaden taking over that play. Kin getting it around Senfis. Kin getting another good touch, and yet another touch, but Flight Knight playing really good defense and stopping themselves from committing, as that ball is hit away by Jaden. And Jaden looking to get that side boost, as Senfis sending it right back into the Gators side. Senfis with another good touch, a double commit. Flight Knight missing that, and unfortunately that was an opportunity lost, as Senfis with a good 50. That ball's going to get sent down. Senfis, almost a pass from Senfis to Jaden, and Jaden can't find the back of the net, and we are still at 2-1 with Kin and Jaden double committing and slamming each other for that boost in the corner. Jaden able to get it out of Flight Knight, getting into the corner. Can they get another touch? They get it around Senfis. Can Kin slot it? They do. What a play. Great teamwork. And we have a 2-2 ball game with 109 to go. And yes, it is anybody's game yet again. Oh, I do love this game. Thank you for letting me cast, as Sir Jaden and Flight Knight meeting in the middle. Can Flight Knight get that next touch? No, Kin does, as Senfis able to read that one, but Jaden definitely able to get that one, although that is centered. Flight Knight with a nice little touch. Can Senfis get that one? They can, and they open it up and take the lead yet again. 3-2, 54 seconds left, and this keeps happening. They keep scoring so many goals. Under 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Yet anybody's ball game again. Senfis hat trick, 7 shots. Playing very well right now is Jaden, trying to read this one. Senfis going off wall and clearing it out, but Kin keeping it in. Can Flight Knight get this touch? They do. They keep it in the air. Jaden trying to read it, not able to do it. Good patience by Senfis and Flight Knight. Flight Knight trying to get it around Ken. Ken with a good save. Jaden chasing. Senfis double jumping, and that ball's gonna go wide with under 30 seconds left. The Gators really need to pull out some of the stops. A nice play by Senfis. Jaden heading it towards the side, and that was a possible flip reset in there, as Ken clearing this one. Flight Knight getting the side boost. Ken trying to make a play, back wall pass, but it's Flight Knight reading that one well. Jaden can't get this one, under 6 seconds to go. The ball's to the opposite side. Senfis getting it down. There's 2 seconds left. Can they get it up the wall? They can. They have a chance. This is the last ditch effort. Flight Knight stopping this one as Jaden moves up, hitting it off wall. Can Ken get it off the side? They do. Senfis is going to slam it down, and the Hornets are going to the finals. They just ended it right there. There's no more games on here, as the Gators made an absolute wonderful try. They couldn't quite get the comeback that the Hornets were used to getting. And we are... well, we are over, I guess. Oh, the Hornets. Gators. What an absolute awesome series, going down to 8 games. They made it so far, but just couldn't get it in, as we had a chance at the end for the Gators. The Hornets playing absolutely wonderful defense, stopping them and stopping when they needed. And Senfis, the hero of the last game, 3 goals, just couldn't be stopped, as Ken trying to match him as best they could. Couldn't do it with those 4 saves. Oh, and that's it. Expert League semifinals, and that is the final decision. And I wouldn't say that's obviously not a decision. That was hard fought by both teams playing to the end, just not able to get the win. The Gators playing wonderfully, but the story is not about the Gators. It is about the Hornets And we have Senfis and Dan. We're going to get them in, have a quick interview with them, and I believe everybody's looking forward to this one as they're winners going to the finals. The Hornets. They're it. See if we can get them in here as soon as we can. We've got both of them. They are both ready. I'm hoping to see what they've got. And I'm hoping also, do we have any indication that who else is in the finals? I do not have a full they are them. So I do not have a full insight into the second finals team. And again, if chat has any indication, that would absolutely be wonderful as I'm about to slam my drink down. All right, we've got Senfis, we've got Dan, the Hornets, your Expert League finals participants. Dan, Senfis, how are you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
Doing all right.
Doing all right. I like that. You guys played wonderfully. 8-game series. I kind of was hoping for a 9th game. Sorry, but you guys ended it. How did you guys feel all 8 games?
Man, I was I was starting to stress there because I think for about the next hour I'm just gonna practice on open net shots because I believe I couldn't hit any.
that last game though, you had a few opportunities that just went wide that really probably could have ended any of those the jitters that could have happened with that last game. But I think you guys played a very nice, calm game. I'm going to start us off with Dan. Most of those games you were playing extremely aggressive. You were fast. You were sort of the catalyst for how the games were going. Is that normally how you guys play, or is it just kind of how this series went?
Going into it, I said to the guys, we need to get in Panda's face because, he's well known in the league and everybody's like, go gum, like Panda, whatever. So I knew I have to get in his face. Do not let him get any mechanical whatsoever. Play super aggressive because I knew going into it, he's the hard carry of that team. I don't care what nobody says. If you stop Panda, you stop the team.
Hey, well, that's a good. I like the fact that you had the strategy because Gomi was playing very, very well, but you counteracted them, in my opinion, excellently, and you stopped them. You were in their faces. And Senfis, this last game, you really took it to them. And not that you didn't play well in the other games, but like this last series and this last game, you were kind of it's almost like they forgot about you, if that makes any sense. They had to keep focusing on Dan, and you were able to do all the necessary things. Actually, it wasn't much of a question.
Yeah,
Well,
it was.
yeah.
I was a little worried because I was like, man, I was like, we're playing our C team, and I was like, what was that C against C?
I that I am not sure. I do not know. I believe it was supposed to be, if the chat was correct in the first place, they did ABC, so that should have been CC.
Okay, yeah, like was playing our C team. I wasn't sure if they were playing their C team, so I was a little worried. But I don't know. I think me and Flight was like slowly connecting. That first game I played, I guess I just wasn't quite warmed up yet. So this running the C team, I was a little bit more warmed up.
Well, I think you guys played. Well, like I said before, you guys played absolutely wonderfully. The back and I think I've got one more thing I got to ask. You guys split the series in the regular season, and I harped on this kind of throughout the entire thing. And you guys basically split almost the entire semifinals. So, were you surprised at how they played, or is this kind of what you were expecting?
Nah, I was expecting this quite a bit because I mean, even last season, whenever I was playing on Adept Hornets, Ken knocked me out of playoffs the very first playoff game when we played the Gators in Adept. So when we rolled around into this season, I think they beat us the first game throughout the season, then we beat them the second game. So I knew this was probably going to be one of the closest and hardest games that we were going to play this playoff. I'm not sure who advanced, so I'm not
Mm-hmm.
quite sure who we're going to play, but
Well, either way, you are in the finals, so well, while it does matter in general when it comes up to matchups and stuff like that, it doesn't matter because you guys are there, and nobody else can take that away from you. So I got to say, congratulations, Dan Senfis, and for everybody on your team. You guys played absolutely awesome, and congratulations. We look forward to seeing you in the finals. You guys have anything to add before we go?
I don't, Dan.
I know there's a lot of Gators fans out there. I'm glad I'm new to the league and shout all of them out. Thank you and have a good night.
Well, I'm definitely love hearing this. So, Frontier Doubles League, that was the end of our stream. We've got Ponesy doing an absolutely wonderful job producing. I am KG Fan 3, learning as best I can. And again, Frontier Doubles League, Expert League. It's the Hornets going to the finals. We look forward to
Ant.
Shout out to Ant. Thank you for that shout out. We look forward to seeing you the next time we broadcast Frontier Doubles League, and it should be the finals. Everybody, have a great night. Oh, and Bretta.
I'm cold, still stainless. My glass half full. Always said don't suffer no fools.